Have you ever had that moment where your fingers hovering over the block button, or you're rehearsing the speech in your head, the one that ends with, "I'm done with this"? Let me ask you something. What if the very second you give up on her is the exact second she was about to drop her guard? What if everything you wanted from her honesty presence, real love, was one moment away and you never stuck around to see it? I'm not here to feed you cliches. I'm not going to tell you if it's meant to be, it'll come back, or any of that nonsense. I'm talking about you, your patience, your dignity, your standards, your story, before you slam that door. Brother, sit with me for a minute. I want to tell you a story, and it starts with a guy named Lucas, a guy who thought he was being strong by walking away. But what he was really doing was running. But more on Lucas in a minute. Let's start with you one. You're not weak for wanting to stay. You know that voice in your head that says, "You're a fool for still caring." Ignore it. That voice is pride dressed in insecurity. Wanting to hold on doesn't make you weak. What makes you weak is ignoring how you truly feel and hiding behind some made-up rule book written by dudes who can't face their own hearts. There's a difference between seeing and loving deeply. Stoicism isn't about being a robot. It's about clarity. It's about sitting with pain long enough to understand if it's real or just a reflex. Lucas, remember him. He was in love with a woman named Renee. Not a romantic comedy love. No violins. Just real, like middle of the night. Phone calls real, like she knew about the scar on his back. Real, but then came the silence, the slow withdrawal, the texts that took 2 hours, then 2 days, then never. Lucas thought, I can't be that guy who sticks around. I'll look pathetic. So he ghosted her first guess what she was dealing with, a miscarriage, and she didn't know how to tell him. Now tell me, was walking away strength or fear wearing a mask? Two-space is not always rejection. Sometimes it's processing. We're so wired for instant feedback. Now we forget people are still people. She didn't reply to your message. Maybe she was crying in the bathroom at work. Maybe she's scared because she likes you too much. Or maybe, yeah, maybe she's just not that into you. But don't assume, investigate. You ever walked into a dark room and flipped the switch 10 times before realizing the bulb's out? That's what we do with women, flip the switch. No light, we rage. Sometimes she's figuring herself out, or dealing with trauma, or wondering if you're too good to be true. You don't have to wait forever, but you do owe yourself the truth, because the worst thing isn't losing her. It's walking away before you even knew what was real. Lucas didn't know Renee was carrying a secret, heavier than both of them combined. He walked out thinking she didn't love him. She loved him too much to let him see her fall apart. That's the difference between reaction and reflection. Guess which one a Stoic chooses? 3. Your pain has a job. Let it finish. Let's be honest, it hurts, doesn't it? Not knowing, waiting, feeling like a backup plan in someone else's movie. But here's what Stoicism teaches us. Pain isn't a punishment, it's a messenger. It's the bodyguard of transformation. What if this ache in your chest isn't proof she's wrong for you, but proof you're growing into someone who refuses to love halfway? Lucas told me later, I didn't leave because I stopped loving her. I left because I didn't know how to sit in the pain long enough to understand it. Look, if you feel like you're drowning, don't swim faster. Float, let the pain show you what it's trying to say. Because sometimes the very feeling you're trying to kill is the one that leads you to your breakthrough. And if you numb that, you numb everything. There's a difference between giving up and letting go. Now, here's where it gets tricky. You're not a doormat. You're not supposed to be her emotional punching bag. Or her maybe, but giving up and letting go are two different things. Giving up says, I'm done because this hurts. Letting go says, I'm done because I've given all I honestly can, and now I respect myself enough to walk away with love, not bitterness. One comes from fear, the other from wisdom. You're allowed to say, I still love you, but I can't stay where I'm not seen. You're allowed to say, I'll always care, but I need peace more than closure. Lucas didn't give himself that grace. He left angry, blocked her, told himself she was heartless. But in the end, all that anger was just heartbreak in a trench coat. Don't do that to yourself. You can walk away like a man, but make sure it's the right walk, not a sprint away from discomfort 5, before you give up on her. Ask yourself this one question. Here's the secret. Before you give up, ask yourself, am I leaving because I've learned what I needed, or because I'm scared of what I might still feel if I stay? Be honest, you don't need advice. You already know you feel it in your gut, in your chest, in the quiet moments when no one's watching. Maybe she's not the one, maybe she is, but you'll never know if you quit before you listen to the full message your heart's trying to send you. Lucas and Renee, he never got closure, he only got questions, and trust me, unanswered questions echo louder than goodbyes. So, what are you going to do? Don't just react. Reflect if this hit you somewhere deep. I want you to sit with that. Not scroll, not text her, not slam the door, or chase after it. Just sit, be still, and ask yourself what this moment is really made of. And hey, if you need a voice in the dark, someone to say the thing out loud you've been afraid to feel, that's what this channel is here for. Subscribe. Not because I told you to, but because I want you to have tools, not just opinions, insight, not just echo chambers, and share this with the one guy you know is about to make the mistake of walking away too soon. Sometimes the moment you stop running is the moment you finally get answers. I'll see you in the next one.